What the hell is happening with Zillow? If you haven't heard of the company Zillow, then you're probably living under a rock, because Zillow is by far the giant player in online real estate. They invented the thing like a Zestimate, giving you the value of your home with a click of a button. Does that sound sketchy to anyone else? I'll get to that later. But for now, let me tell you a little bit about Zillow. They're worth $21 billion. In 2018, they opened their instant buying division, better known as iBuying, where tech companies come in, buy a property online, flip it, and then sell it for a gain. Zillow thought this was a great idea, and they dove headfirst into this. Well, on October 18th, they announced that they were going to end their iBuying department. Big news for the real estate market, and also they cut 25% of their employees. In the last 2 weeks, out of 1,000 properties that Zillow had listed, 64% of them sold for less than what Zillow bought them for. You can see how this is just terrible. Not to mention that they actually made another announcement that they were going to sell their portfolio, meaning they were going to exit the plan completely. This obviously is huge news, and I think a lot of people are thinking, oh my gosh, Zillow was my go-to girl, and now they're saying all this, and I don't know what to do.
What's happening with the market?
And they're freaking out. If you're one of those people, I don't blame you. But let me tell you why not to freak out. The bottom line is Zillow made a mistake. Zillow's own economists projected a 12% growth rate year after year, even up till recently. So whatever Zillow's doing, I personally think is totally on their own mistakes. So what does this mean for you? What's happening in the market? By all means, still go on Zillow. Do what I do and my mother. We go on Zillow. We dream all day of the properties that we could have and the beautiful photography and oh, what would it be like? And let me just tell you, it's not reality, honey. Whether you are looking to buy or sell your home, if Zillow is your only resource, my very first thing to say is to stop using it as a catalyst. I'm sure there are thousands of people who use Zillow as their primary leader of what the market news is, and I'm telling you right now, don't. If you're one of those people, please don't. They made a poor business choice and now they're paying for it. They also make you believe you can buy a home online. They've made it so easy for you. But as you may have seen in some of my other videos, you can't buy a home on the internet. I won't really get into that, but this is why real estate agents in particular are still having thriving careers. Needing a real estate agent may not be necessary in years to come. However, for the time being, resources like Zillow, who nearly cut their inventory altogether, are probably not the best dictator of what's going on in the market. If you've made it this far in the video, welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie, your creative agent, and in today's video, we're talking about what's going on with Zillow and how it's affecting buyers and sellers in the current market. If you are looking to buy or sell a property, real estate agents do actually play a role in how much money you can make or how much money you can save. My first piece of advice is to hire an experienced local real estate agent who tailors to the needs of your market. So what does Zillow's big announcement mean for buyers and sellers and for the housing market? It means a few things. Number one, there's a lot of property for sale. Thanks, Zillow. You just gave us a ton of inventory. Love ya. Secondly, if you use Zillow as your primary resource for market news, I suggest you add a few more, if not replace Zillow altogether. It doesn't seem like they're a very reliable source when it comes to your needs and the best and highest value for your property. I actually had a listing appointment the other day with someone. I gave him my thorough market analysis and I gave him a quote on what his property could sell for. He then said to me very sweetly, said, well, the Zestimate said I could make like 12 more than what you're telling me I could make. And and now we're here. Zestimates are actually not real. They give a false impression about what the market is doing. And although it could be helpful as a resource, it should not be the only resource. Here's the truth. 2020 was a crazy year for many reasons. Up and down went the market. The inventory, the value, people were freaking out, rightfully so. We didn't really know what was going on. So people didn't want to buy and they didn't know where their next paycheck was going to come from and all of these things. And then of course the government starts printing more money. Inflation happens, 2021. People want to buy. Here's how I think of inflation. You have more money in your pocket, but it also costs more money to buy things. We are all having false conceptions that we're actually wealthier when in all reality, that's not happening. So why are people buying homes? Shouldn't they be saving their money? No. Real estate has a history of being one of the best investments somebody can make. So if you have a lot of money right now and you don't want it to go to waste, you should still invest it. Do not spend it, but to help it grow. And right now, what's happening with the stocks, for example, Zillow, their shares went down 12% to $85 a share. This also really damaged their company. So as real estate investment goes, that is why the market is still so hot. There are so many buyers out there, and for the entirety of 2021, there has been a very, very low inventory. The good news is there is a slight increase in inventory. Typically, the real estate market always kind of slows down in the fall, no matter where you are. It's the holiday season, yada yada. We are seeing a few more sellers come to the reality of this is the time to sell, so we are seeing more inventory. If you're looking at market news and you see the word deceleration, do not confuse this with depreciation. Real estate, almost all the time, is going to be an appreciating asset. Your money will grow. Deceleration in the market simply means it's not going up as fast, right? Like we had this rocket launch in 2021 and everything was just on fire. We are starting to see a slight deceleration in the market. A little more inventory, hopefully a little more leveling happening, but the price of your home is most likely not going down. The value of your home is not going down. The value of your dollar is going down. That's inflation. Instead of turning to things like Zillow for your market news, I would actually turn to what's happening in the government. Something's happening right now that is disrupting a lot of investors and a lot of people who've put their money in the right place. This Build Back Better plan, if it passes in its entirety, it could be devastating for investors all across the country. Essentially, there's a code in there saying that anyone who uses their IRA funds, someone with smart investment strategy. IRA funds are very popular and wonderful for people who want to grow their wealth because a portion of them are not taxed. So naturally, if your money's not taxed, it is already making more money on the money. Now, anyone who has money in an IRA, let's say the Build Back Better plan gets passed in its entirety, those funds can no longer be used for real estate investment. As a matter of fact, any real estate investment property that IRA funds have paid for have to be revoked and reversed in 24 months. You may be thinking 24 months, 2 years, that's a long time. Actually, most real estate investment plans, the structure of a profit takes about 5 to 7 years. So this could change the market drastically, not only upsetting people who've invested their hard-earned money, but also for the sake of inventory. If they have to sell their property, we may find more inventory. To say that the value of our dollar is going up anytime soon is actually just incorrect. This is something to keep in mind no matter what your situation is, because just because you have more Benjamins does not mean you actually have more wealth. It's where you put the Benjamins and at what time that can grow your wealth. So if you made it this far in the video, thanks. Let's just recap. Zillow should not be your primary housing market resource. Number one. Number two, get connected with a local real estate agent or several agents to see what is going on, get a real understanding of the market. And three, pay attention to what is happening in the government and how it could affect you and your hard-earned money. I would love to know your thoughts about what Zillow's doing and how it's affecting the market. If you have any thoughts and you'd care to share, please leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to my channel to never miss one of my videos as your creative agent. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.